So when you're looking at smart home LED bulbs, do you go with the dominant player in the field, the Philips Hue, or do you go with the newcomer, the Ikea Tradfri? You know, Ikea is this household name that's known for cheap, usable furniture, so maybe they've come up with something good? Maybe? Based on my time with the Philips Hue and the Ikea Tradfri and many other smart LED bulb sets, I'd put my money on the Philips Hue. Surprise, surprise, the Ikea Tradfri is really not worth the money, hassle, or time that you're going to be spending on it. And it's sad for me to say because I am kind of a hardcore Ikea fan. I really like their stuff, and I'm sure there are others that are way more hardcore than I am, but I really like my Expedit and Klax shelves. For this comparison, I've given the Philips Hue white Ambiance bulbs a score of 4.3 A's out of 5, whereas the Ikea Tradfris get a score 1.7 A's out of 5. Yes, they are that bad. If you're wondering what other alternatives exist for smart home lights, check out my top 5 smart home LED light list. Smart Home Reviews A.ca, Monty and I, this little dog, we base everything we do on actual usage. So when it comes to smart light bulbs, well, we use the light bulbs everywhere. We make our house very, very colorful. We'll install them in a variety of different rooms and pair them to a variety of different smart home platforms before rating them, if they are compatible, which the Tradfri is not. On the topic of the Tradfri, we did sit there and stare at the shoddy packaging for a while and wonder how Ikea released something so half-assed. And you might be wondering, why do we do all this? Well, ultimately to answer the question that we have, that I'm pretty sure you guys have, is how do we get the most out of our homes? When it comes to physical design, both the Philips Hue and Ikea Tradfri look like regular bulbs. These smart LED bulbs are heavier than normal LED bulbs, but from an aesthetic standpoint, they don't even come close to the badass looking smart Ivy bulbs. Both sets of lights are dimmable and offer customizable colors of white. And you might be wondering what this asterisk is doing on your screen. Well, the Tradfri offers 3 different colors of white. You don't get to specify exactly what color you want, you get 3 choices. Now, the thing that doesn't really make sense in my mind is that the different colors already exist within the hardware. So unless there is a physical design aspect that they don't tell us that we can't do customized colors, it just seems silly that IKEA's color blocking you when it comes to whatever shade of white you want. Every other smart dimmable light bulb that allows you to customize colors, well, allows you to customize colors, whereas in, well, Ikea, 3. The only saving grace of the Tradfri is the fact that the bulbs are brighter than the Philips Hue. The Tradfri produces 980 lumens, whereas the Hue taps out at 800 lumen. The lumen rating is actually lower if you use certain colors of whites. Now, when it comes to overall functionality, the Philips Hues come out on top, like just so much further on top. Adding the bulbs to your home is quite simple, whereas the Ikea Tradfri requires you to sync every bulb by itself. If you're planning on getting the Tradfri, make sure you pair the bulbs far away from each other because I was never able to sync all the bulbs in a cluster. Both sets of light bulbs require a base station to be connected to your router, but I do have to give props to the Ikea Tradfri because, well, IKEA's included a method for you to hide some of the extra cable that comes with, well, the entire package. Now I'm going to elaborate a bit more on syncing the Ikea Tradfri bulbs. Now, I'm not quite sure why Ikea chose this installation route, but at the end, it's just incredibly frustrating. In addition to this frustration, even though it is a one-time deal, is that the packaging that the Tradfri comes in is just awful. Every piece of Ikea furniture that I've ever bought came in a box, and everything, like the moment you break that cardboard box that's surrounding your Klax shelves, well, like everything just kind of falls out and you just kind of organize it and try to figure out where everything goes. But with these Ikea Tradfri things, they decided to wrap everything in plastic, and I mean everything. So it's just incredibly frustrating to take this thing apart and install it. You know, maybe I could get over the bad packaging, but then the installation would just go incredibly smoothly. But the fact that like you cut your hands on this plastic packaging and then you try to install these bulbs that require you to sync every stupid one with the remote, it's just not cool. Frustrating. The Philips Hue also has a multitude of different ways to remotely access your Hue lights. You can use your Apple Home or Alexa remotely, or through Philips' own website. The only way to control the Tradfri is through the app, and, well, you don't have any sort of remote access. So if you're going on vacation, make sure you set everything before you leave your home. And I'm pretty sure setting your lights is probably going to be on the top of your list when you're rushing out because you're late for your flight. If you've got an Apple Watch, the Hue offers a watch app, whereas the Tradfri offers you nothing. I will note that the prevalence of Philips Hue in the smart LED light realm has prompted app manufacturers to include the Hue in their apps, which is handy. This will never happen for the Tradfri, I think. When it comes to compatibility, you're going to have a hard time finding a smart home platform that isn't compatible with the Philips Hue. The Tradfri, on the other hand, doesn't work with anything, which boggles my mind because, well, I think there's a larger chance that people are going to buy your bulbs IKEA when they're compatible with Apple Home, Amazon Alexa, or Google Home. If a homeowner or renter decides to purchase another smart home device and realizes that the Tradfri doesn't work with it, well, there's a good chance that the person's going to swap out the lights, regardless of how many Klax bookshelves they have. So, bottom line, go with the Philips Hue. between these two products. If you're looking for something very compatible or comparable to the Philips Hue, do check out the Lift Plus light bulbs. Those things are pretty cool. Doesn't require a base station, but for the cost of one starter kit, you can get one bulb. So price is it's cost prohibitive, we'll say. If you have any questions for me, leave them down there in the comments section below. If this is the first time you're watching my videos, do subscribe. And the last thing I'll say is that if you're planning on buying smart home devices and my videos have been helpful to you, consider then getting through my links, because Ikea didn't pay me to review their crappy bulbs. Philips didn't pay me to review their decent bulbs. I had bought all these bulbs myself, just to answer the question, which one's better? Oh, and some of you might be wondering, why is there a little doohickey on my forehead, a little unicorn, we'll say. So I work out, I do a weightlifting class. Well, actually, no, I do CrossFit. And so we were practicing our snatches. And well, in my mind, I was planning on getting under the bar as fast as possible. I went with light weights and I was gonna practice on getting under the bar quickly. And I was so quick that I managed to throw my head into the bar as I was throwing the bar up. So basically I tried headbutting the bar into the ground. And so I've never really seen stars. I saw stars after making that contact. So that's the story behind this little band-aid on my head, because I did break skin. There was a giant bump and I basically took half the day to kind of gather myself before filming these videos. Okay, now we're done.